Hi, this is Stephanie Miller from The Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from my show on Political Voices Network. Trump has been held in contempt for the third time, speaking of being above the law. Judge Merchan said going forward, this court will have to consider a jail sanction. I'm concerned about the ramifications of putting you in jail, but I have a job to do to compel respect for the dignity of the court. Your behavior constitutes a direct attack on the rule of law. If I need to, I will. Well, this is what we're still grappling with, right, Jill? Like, how do you put a former president? I'm telling you, this Nixon pardon is what started this idea that a president is above the law. If the president does it, it's not illegal, right? And the judges don't know. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're 100% right. I personally don't want to see a president or former president in jail. But I also have a higher duty to the system of justice, to the rule of law, and therefore I think it may be necessary. And I think that the comments from Judge Merchan show that he is being very balanced in his approach, saying, you're leaving me no choice. This is not me doing this. This would be you doing this. So stop it. Yeah. And I'm just wondering how many people listening to this show think there's any chance that Donald J. Trump can control himself enough to avoid a future repetition of his violation of gag order.
By the way, just this morning, Jill, he repeated again, he was asked, are you going to testify? And he said, I can't answer your question because of the gag order. Well, the judge already had to slap him down in court on Friday and say the gag order does not mean you can't testify. I mean, I love it. Was it Bob Schooley tweeted, kind of hilarious that Trump lied his way into the judge basically daring him to testify, right? I mean, to clarify, a gag order does not mean you can't testify.
No, a gag order has to do with what you say outside of court. It has nothing to do with what you say in court. In court, you're free to say anything, including to perjure yourself by saying the same things he's saying, which is, I can't testify, I can't do this. Yes, it is only extrajudicial statements that are covered by a gag order.
Yeah. Well, and one analyst said if he testifies, then he's going to commit perjury because he did have sex with those women and there was hush money there. I mean, he keeps saying he's going to testify, right?
There's no way he's going to testify. No matter how little control his lawyers have over him, and it is pretty small, and you even saw Todd Blanche standing next to him at one of his most recent press conferences outside of the court, shaking his head in agreement when he said what you just quoted about, I can't testify because I'm under a gag order. And Todd Blanche actually shook his head in agreement. That is outrageous. I mean, you cannot, as a defense lawyer, go so far as to agree. One of the best pieces of advice I ever got, Jim Neal was a senior lawyer on Watergate. And after Watergate was over and I was a defense lawyer, I co-defended someone with him. And it was my first time defending. And he said, never say to the court, I believe, or this is a fact. You say, my client tells me that. Mm-hmm. And that is the best advice, and all of Trump's lawyers are violating that.
Yeah, absolutely. My favorite is he blamed the judge on Friday for making the hush money trial as salacious as possible. So you see, it's not banging a porn star right after your wife gave birth. That is the judge is making that seem salacious and and sleazy in some way, Jill.
Yeah, no, that's, it's just part of his way of defending himself in the public, which seems to work for his loyal followers who don't have the sense that they should have. And it is outrageous that he can do these things and say that it's not salacious if I do it. It's not salacious if I talk about it. But boy, putting me on trial for that's causing it to be sleazy.
Finally, Trump started the 11th day of his criminal trial, clearly peeved with his lawyer. Trump threw a file in front of his lawyer as he questioned an investigator about messages taken from Michael Cohen's cell phone. Trump pointed at the file while scowling, declining to make eye contact. Bove at that moment was asking the investigator about whether Cohen's phone could have been tampered with or data modified. Well, this is where Donald Trump's crazy conspiracy theories meet, the light of a courtroom, right? And facts. matter. This is some crazy conspiracy theory that, maybe somebody tampered with Michael Cohen's phone or some. How can you be Donald Trump's lawyer, right? You're not going to get paid. You're probably going to get disbarred or end up in prison. I don't get it, Jill. Why anyone?
I don't understand why anyone would want to be or would agree to be, and who thinks that they'll actually get paid, because I still have a pin that says, it's a picture of Stormy Daniels saying, the only contractor Trump ever paid. I mean, I think you have to be careful of that. And I think, you mentioned how he was scowling and throwing things. The jury sees that, Stephanie.
Yeah.
They see it. And one of the things you learn, both as a prosecutor or as a defense lawyer or as someone advising a client, is never show your reaction to the jury.
Right.
Because they will respond to that, and when they see you scowling, they know that something important has happened, that there's something going on bad. When you hear someone testify to something you weren't expected, don't go, "Oh my God, that's horrible." You just sort of go, no facial expression, and you deal with it later. So he's making a job that's hard impossible by his physical reactions to things.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Chicago Sexy Liberal. That's all I can say. You and Jan Schakowsky joining us right before the DNC. And there's another special guest. I can't tell you or I'd have to kill you, but it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah.
We can't wait to find out who it is.
Me too.
And hope that there's not too much violence before the DNC.
Yeah.
I didn't live here in '68. I was still in law school, but my husband was there, and he says it was really pretty terrible.
Yeah, no, I have that same it's like I'm getting.
And I just came back from a college campus, and there was an encampment on the campus.
Sure,
it was pretty peaceful and pretty quiet, but it was pouring rain, so maybe they just didn't want to come out of their tents.
Yeah. We just have to hope that everyone raised their college kids as well as you raised little Victor Shee.
Yes. Didn't I do a good job there? Really?
You did.
And I saw him in the airport yesterday. I was landing from Oregon, and he was heading back to Delaware.
Aww.
And we met at the American Airlines terminal.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's like every great rom-com. Oh, that's fantastic.
It was
All right.
wonderful. Yes, indeed.
All right, Jill, love you. Listen to the podcast. They're on tour. Sisters-in-law, Watergate Girl. Oh my God, do it. Everything. Love you. Mwah.
Thank you. See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, bye, honey.
Bye.
There she goes.